Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. This is the Rise of Cornoe. This is the Vasastavi area over here with our new iron mines, and I can see our iron supply is filling up quite nicely. Just want to check this train that's just popped in here. Just want to check it. I guess it is bringing in from the border, and I'm hoping we really don't need to do that anymore. This guy should be able to just go back and forth and fill this up pretty effectively. Let me see. Is this guy heading back? Yeah, it's getting back to rail imports. Rail imports should not be filling this one up beyond 40%. Yeah, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. I don't think we are using it at that kind of rate at this stage. So I think we're okay. This guy will pop in and go again. Yeah, so that's what's going to happen. That's okay. I think that's okay. So we need to do a few things. So let me pause it for a second because we're going to head into winter fairly soon. Well, not immediately, but it's not that far away. So a few things. We are actively producing tons of vehicles so that we're doing our automatic replacement, right? So vehicles, and I would like to sort them by age, right? That's what I kind of do. Okay, so that's the situation. We do have all of these things going to be produced, right? They're in the queue. And yeah, I think I've purchased all of this. So this bus is the first one that we probably just need to replace with these guys once we have them available. We actually do have a few of them available, but at the moment we're only... we should be replacing actually. Let's see. That some of these should start to replace, right? Are we gonna... Yeah, there we go. We see one of them moving. Whether we'll see another one moving depends on the age of these vehicles. Maybe only one of these buses are older than 30 years, which is now... Oh, there's another one going. Okay, that's good. Slowly, we'll see these be replaced. I'll also replace those ones. And these open holes need to be replaced by those open holes if we have them available. And these covered holes need to be replaced by those covered holes. And these snowplows are those. And that's been done. Now, what do we have here? We're grabbing these guys for them. Where is this? Atomic Industrial Steel Export. Steel Export. So that's a distribution office. Yeah. So that should be fine. We're sorted out in this area. Yeah, we want to make sure we're replacing with those. We want to make sure we're replacing with these guys. We want to make sure we're replacing with those ones. This is dumpers with those dumpers, and this is mixers with those mixers. That's a pretty good shot. This is fine. We want to replace it with these. Open holes with open holes. Yeah, snowplows with snowplows, refrigerators, ambulances with the new ambulances, police with the new police. And then these guys, we're doing those. Yep, absolutely. Yep, we're replacing with this, that. Snowplows with these snowplows, please. Now this flatbed. I'm not sure we're going to do this, are we? Gonna instead do the KMZs. But that's okay. I guess that's okay. We'll do that so we don't have multiple. Though I do think we could. But anyway, we're not gonna make things overly complex for us at the moment. And these guys can go with those buses over there. I do think we're just going with these. Yeah, that's fine. No problems. That's okay. This is the new ambulance. No, it's not. So we're going with these ambulances, please. These will be going with the new Mars cars. These buses will be those buses. I think that's the same. Yeah, these fire trucks will be... We're just going to go standard on the fire truck. The water truck, we don't have anything. So we'll just leave that as is. Pretty new vehicle anyway. I do wonder what we're doing with the water truck. This is dry something or the other. Anyway, we don't really need to worry about all of these little vehicles. That's okay. This is okay. The police, just want to make sure we're doing a single police vehicle. These buses, I'm just going to make sure we're doing whatever buses we're doing. The ambulance is just putting it over to these guys. Similarly to these guys, and the pavers to the pavers. So that means all of our vehicles, pretty much all of our vehicles now have something that can be created. So all we need to do is make sure we're keeping a bit of a stock going for them. This is all running fairly smoothly. This is pretty full. But yeah, I'm thinking we need more people over here. So we are actively constructing some of these paths. So we should be able to see construction activity here starting fairly soon. Is this done? Yeah, this is done, working, all of that. We have people in here. Do we have people in here? We don't have any people in here. We didn't have people in here for what reason exactly? Yeah, we didn't have... Okay, hang on. So what's happening over here? Building is without power supply. This building... Oh, hang on. Container overfilled. Let me quickly do that. Just clear out that health risk. I think this should be fine. This guy should now be picking up. So we would like a little bit of biological waste to be doing its thing over here. So this guy should be picking up. Excellent. So I think that's going to be fine. I don't know if we've got the kind of vehicle that we're after to actually be able to pick it up. What kind of vehicles do we have in these technical services? Yeah, we don't have those. And this is technical services as well, and it's not even doing anything. Okay, so let's set this one up. This is okay, so we will need a few vehicles here. What do we have available? Can we grab... These are snowplows, right? So let's assign a snowplow over there. We definitely want to assign one of these over here. It's going to be okay. And we want to assign what else? That's okay for now, right? Oh, we want the big waste truck. We have some of them over here as well. So let's assign one of them at least over there also. Now, if we are saying we are going to say we want to do mixed waste over in this location over here, please. Hazardous waste. If you are picking up hazardous waste, it needs to go over there. Biological waste can go into this dump over there. And I think that's pretty much it, right? Nothing else is going to be picked up in this area. So we'll do that. So that should at least start moving things around a little bit. I am running a little bit of stuff here, right? Yeah, I'm running something to the border. We are okay with that for the time being. This one is almost full, but all of this is set up so we could start running some stuff out. That is okay if we need to. This is hanging on for dear life, right, at the moment in terms of what we've got going on here. Happy to see that our dissipation here is oddly sufficient. So this guy should be emptied out, I think, by this vehicle. I think it should be making its way over this way to come and empty this one out. This has meat, this has clothing, and all of these other bits and pieces. And yeah, so this should have cleared out. Let's just double check. Cleared out the mixed waste, and now mixed waste is popping up in there. So beautifully aligned. This is not with power. This is with power. I do wonder if we will be losing some of this due to not power, but we'll power this in due course. We don't have enough wardens somewhere. But anyway, we've got this up and running. So all of these guys should be able to get access. So I can quite comfortably go ahead and allow citizens to move in. And we'll double check that they have all of their needs met. Oh, this is already moved in. Interesting. Anyway, that's fine. All of that should be okay. Are all of these linked up? This one does not have... This one is not getting... served by that. Let's just double check ever so quickly. Is there anything we can do to get this a little bit closer? Just see, how far are we away? we should be fairly close if we do that, right? And if we do this, right, I want to do those two. I'm going to quickly pay for that because that's kind of, let's just fund those two sections. I just want to see if that's sufficient. Let's do this. Yes, it is. Beautiful. Beautiful. We're picking up all of these places from that single spot, which is a very effective way of doing it. So I'm quite happy and comfortable with that setup. Happiness is still not perfect. Our population is dropped a little bit. I believe we have seen the 35,000 mark in the past, so it's a little bit interesting that we're seeing that. We should have numbers over here. So what's going on with our secret police station? Do we have a secret police station? This is just a normal police station. Are we building? Oh, this is secret police. We don't have any vehicles. Vehicles are missing from duty. Can I move a few of them to the front lines at least? They should build fairly quickly. Then we'll get that up and running. It's not an emergency that we get that straight away. Okay. All of this should be working. Building is without drinking water. Really? But this one is fine, right? Building is without drinking water. Okay, hang on. Let's quickly have a bit of a look. Oh, we've got everything here. We just need to tie it up. Okay. Well, let's give it some drinking water. I'll just pop it in right over here. So if we were to just give it some drinking water. A substation. Do we move it to that side so we cover a little bit more? I don't really think it's important. I'll do it there anyway. We'll do that. We will tie it in like so, and we will provide it with a little bit of a pipe here. We don't need to do anything in between. I will go ahead and just pay for that, just so that we can not have the drinking water issue here. No, wasn't quite the plan to do that, but we'll go ahead and pay for that a little bit. Our money is in reasonable supply, and this is looking good. This is looking good. We'll add 1 for biological waste, 2 for biological waste, so we can fill that up over time as well. This is looking pretty good. So everybody here should have most of what they need and should be quite accessible from over here, right? So we'll be adding more and more workers to the mix here, and that means we'll be able to send more and more workers to these areas. So we'll actually max this out. So there we go. We're building these cars at like such a rate that it's really really good. Small cold store in Satomic should be fine. Satomic is pretty well served. Now these cars, here they are. So let me move one of them into here, please, to come and at least provide a little bit of attention in that area. We've got a few of them ready to go. Container dumps are full, all these kind of things. Let's quickly pop in here just again. So we've got these. Actually, they are... Oh, hang on. Let's go back. So what's our old vehicles here? So these police cars, those ones there, at 26 years of age, should still be quite good. So let's just get a couple of these vehicles out over there. So at least we've got a little bit of stuff starting to happen here. Okay, good stuff. And we're moving back onto some of the bigger vehicles. Actually, do we have any of them stored at the moment? Yeah, the cisterns should be moving pretty quickly, and then those buses there. Okay, that's fine. I think we're in a good spot actually. We need some dumpers though. Okay, so let's put some dumpers into the mix here. Right, that's what we're looking for here, right? Some dumpers. How many is it? We'll add some 2 dumpers to that. Refrigerator trucks are already in the mix there. And then police cars are coming online as well. So we've got that. Police cars, it's probably dumpers before police cars. And then police cars, we've got 4 of them ready to go. So I think that should solve it. We might need more of these though. Let's add a few more to the mix there. Some of these. A couple of extra cisterns to the mix there so that we can keep going on all of these good things. Excellent. Okay, that's pretty good spot there. This is... it's barely holding on. I'm not sure we're in good shape with this, but anyway, we're moving through that. Okay, now we need to bear in mind. So let's have a look. What is our closest construction office, right? So where is this? Where is the reach of this construction office? Not close to this area. So none of this is actually being served. Similarly, this guy has got nothing to repair. We don't have any vehicles here. We don't have any of the stuff that we need. So what do we need? Let's quickly set this up. We need plastics, mechanical components, electronic components, electronics, and fabrics. So limit the amounts. We want 0 there, 0 there. No. We do want, let's say, 15% of that. 0, 0, 0, 15, 20, 20, 5, 0. Right? I think that is about right. So if we do that, it's kind of going to put it in the right kind of numbers there. So if we look at that, we should have all of those things in place, and we do need also steel to be delivered over here. Now, we're not really filling up with aluminum, so let's just make a bit more room for steel. So we'll get 20 tons of steel in there. The others are all good. Now we do need to get our crews to come and deliver it over here. So I believe all of this is picking up from both of those, right? Road cargo station, Atomic Industrial. What is this one? It's this one and this one. So let's just rename these and say construction supplies, Cornoe Crossing Road Cargo Station. We'll rename the building and just say Atomic Sith Industrial Construction Supply Pickup. Construction supplies. Construction supplies. Okay. And the other one is Sith Industrial. General goods. General goods. Yeah, general goods. We'll do that. So at least now, if we go here, we can see that we've got general goods and construction supplies being picked up in this location. And we can, of course, assign some other bits and pieces. So we'll go fly all the way over here and make sure we're delivering to there and to here, right? So if we go down this journey, make sure to unload this, please. So that's Susselgrad. We will vehicle repair station. So we're only go ahead and do those directly in there. Fill them up for us over there. Make this up to 50%, whatever you can and should be dropping off in that specific location. None of those others actually do matter. And we can park some vehicles over here to get them to be repaired. Now, this should all be good. We are getting workers in here, but we can do a little bit better by just tying this in on this side. And I will go and pay for a little bit of that so we just get a little bit more action. Now, this is also in need of a vehicle. So let's bring one of our covered hulls over here. Do we have covered hulls ready to go? Not really. No covered hulls ready to go. So let's grab a covered hull and move it in there. Actually, move it to the front of that, please, so we can get at least one covered hull in place. So that we can get that to start moving. In the meantime, what we can do, of course, only once those things are delivered, we can move these guys over there. But I think for the time being, this should be okay. The other big problem we have is none of these buildings are being repaired, right? I think there's an issue with that. So if we go here and there and have a look at the wear and tear numbers, if we open this up, so we can see some of this stuff is already starting to get a little bit out of hand. Yeah, we're still in pretty good shape. Some spots are starting to struggle a little bit, so we do need to get something in here to kind of deal with that. Now, what I was wondering, I think what we need to do is we probably need to assign some construction here. Oh, this isn't actually happening. So let's assign lesser construction to this and to this and to that. All of those have been done. We can assign them over here, and that's still not happening. What we can do is we can get the helicopter assigned to this one in this location. So now things will start building. We do need to think about this, but what I'm keen on doing is getting a little bit of room somewhere. We don't have the bridges for these guys. We do need to have a look at that, so we can start making a move on that as well. So let's have a look. If we were to say bridge this guy over here, my question would be: is that high enough? Okay. So if we switch this on, yeah, we can see here that we don't have. Actually, we're not in a good spot here. So let's quickly just level this out a little bit more from the center here. Just so we've got a little bit of a landing for the rail as well. Okay, I think that should do the trick, right? Okay, so if we grab the rail, we want to start working on those bridges also. Now, they are pretty straight, these bridges. Is there any other bridges that we can use that's seemingly sensible? 39 meters is a pretty nice... so actually, these options, this is an option. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good option right there. So if we were to do, say, that's pretty good. I like that. And we do similarly, yes, that is pretty good. I'm happy with that. Let's quickly have a look here. Yeah, from a levels perspective, that is going to do the trick. Right now we just need to make sure that we're providing this with all the necessary, right? So we can get the construction crews in here to come and work on this. Let's have a quick look at what's happening with our signaling in this area, because I think our signaling here isn't great, right? We're still having, okay, that's just one way in. We've got the setup, and then here we've got a bit of funniness. Yeah, we've got the switch in this location. So what we could do is we could do a switch on this side. Yeah, this is all. Yeah, okay. So let's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this isn't electrified even. Electrification is stopped. Okay. So we do need to electrify as well. Okay, so let's get the electrification of this area going. Okay, so with that in mind, let's get the crews in here to quickly come and do the electrification. Okay, you should be okay. Bring you over and come and electrify for us, please. Yeah, they can. Just have a look. So they can come up to here, then they can cross over to the other side, and they can do their thing. Basically over here. Electrify that and electrify this. It'll mess around with this stuff a little bit, I think, but that should be okay. So let's get moving on that. We do need a forward base of operations for construction because we're already falling behind a little bit there. What's happening over here? We're still working on a cistern. Oh, no. That means we had a vehicle that was immediately sent out. It replaced something, obviously. So give me a couple more covered hulls, please, and move them in there. After that, we should be able to squeeze out a few more covered hulls once we replace a few prison trucks, which is all good. All good. This guy, very close to being full. very close to being full, and then things will stop, right? We are... Oh, this is filling up from over here, I guess. Yeah, it's actually filling up from over there. Okay, well, that's okay. No problems. No problems with that. This guy is bringing in some mixed waste that's going to be delivered over here. Yeah, we are struggling. I mean, this facility is running at full capacity. And I guess looking at this operation, we could maybe do with half of them. But half of them, things would still dissipate. Still dissipating quickly the more of these things we have, right? So it basically does one batch everywhere, and that's a good thing for us. And this should still, we are actively getting through this, right? We cannot store mixed waste. Is this full? How come we cannot store mixed waste? This is all good, man. We can store mixed waste. We can absolutely store mixed waste in there, and straight away go in there. So we'll keep a bit of an eye on that. It doesn't seem to be too much of a problem, but it could obviously. Just need to keep an eye on it. Still, all of this is under construction, but pretty close to being done on some of these at least. And then we can move in a few more people, but we've got plenty of workers hanging around. Let's have a quick look here at the iron supply. This is pretty well batched at the moment. This is import. This is exports. I don't necessarily. I do wonder if we could use these trains to kind of go and dump some of this stuff, really. Every now and again, just dump it, a lot of that at the border. Go and sell it. Problem with these, in the reality, you can't always sell this stuff, so you'll have an issue. What's happening over here? Cannot export mixed waste. Oh! I don't think I've ever set something up here. Okay, let's have a quick look. All related vehicles. Oh, we do have. Oh no. This is not what we're after, right? We need to set up a train here straight away, and I guess we have more trains than we necessarily need on this one. If I go, let's have a look here. If I go here, who's parked? No one's parked up in this location. Just want to check. Quickly have a look. What is this guy? That's just a steel train. Anybody else hanging around anywhere? Over here, are we exporting some stuff? Okay. So this guy is currently doing the export at the border. So what we actually need to do is I think those others are sorted out. So let's go over here instead. Load up on mixed waste, wait until you're full, and then you go and dump it at the border. And what we'll do is we'll clear out, we'll delete that stop, and so we'll do this instead. So keep going, get your stuff moving, and then what you'll do is you'll go and go to the Vasastavi range dump and go and collect over there so that we can move things through. We don't have any fire trucks over here. It's a good thing we've checked that. Do we have fire engines ready to go? We at least have one, so we can absolutely move one of them in there so that things can make a move. And then what else do we have here? We should be building covered hulls. A little bit of everything, just kind of hanging around pleasantly over here in case we should need it. And these should not be. They should not be wearing and tearing while they're over here in this area. It's kind of a bit of a. If you move them out to something else, yes, they wear and tear, but otherwise they're pretty comfortable to just stay around there. This is very close to being done. That is very close to being done. They're all very close to being done. So we should see a little bit more people move in here any time now. This should be comfortably working. This should have everything it needs. People should be generally fairly happy having everything they want. And now we should also have a pretty good idea of our government loyalty, which is pretty good. 80% is not bad at all. Okay, excellent. So that's good. Now we are actively constructing some stuff out over here, right? All of this is underway, or we're building these roads, we're building these bridges. So they're all actively underway. We are electrifying over here, I think, no problems. Right, these are all done. These are still doing their thing. This is all electrified all the way to the end. They are. So let's just make sure that we set that section up for electrification. I hope we're not burning down where we shouldn't be burning down. Grab me this guy. Just double check. It is actively working on something on these bridges. I like it. We would also like to work on these two so we get the electrification going. And then what I want to do, actually, we'll let them do this. Hang on. I'm going to pay for those little bit of electrification there. I just want to make sure we don't run into too much grief with this stuff. So what I'll do is I'll do this over here, and we'll pay for that. And then what we'll do is we'll say mixed signals here, mixed, and yeah. And what we'll do is we'll do chain there and this one on this side, and we'll do that one and chain that direction. So at least now we can go ahead and work on any one of them. This guy should be able to cross over to the other side and quite comfortably go and work on that side. This guy's broken down. Luckily it's in a reasonable spot. Okay, good stuff. So we can continue our construction of infrastructure over there. Now, this one should be ready to go, up and running, have everything it needs. It still doesn't have fabric, though. Okay, so fabrics, but I don't know if we need fabric for every vehicle. But anyway, it doesn't really matter too much. Can we please get one of these guys? They are actively being pilfered straight away. So how many do we have that's over 30 years old? We shouldn't have any. So the next one really should be holding on for us. Should not be and vehicle over 30 years. So the next one really should be hanging around. Okay, perfect. Give me this vehicle. And what we're going to do is we're going to move it to this facility here. So at least we can go and fix some vehicles, right? Office range. So let's just get a little bit further away with the office range. Yeah, let's do that. So we pick up all of these vehicles in this area. That's good. Let's make sure we're maxing that out, and we're fixing vehicles where we can. This is actively underway, construction and these kind of things. These are done. So that's good. So now what we can do is we can start to build out this, right? Let's switch this on. Okay. So we're beautifully dealing with that. Getting that sorted out. We'll do the same thing on this side. Can you do that? Yeah, you can. That's excellent. So we'll just provide ourselves with a reasonable, with a nice, reasonable flat arrival profile there. And then, of course, what we want to do is do a little bit of this, right? Perfect. Excellent. So we're building that one out. That's beautiful. Okay, so that's pretty good. My issue now is going to be with the rail. So let's get the rail to do the same thing. If I grab that piece of rail there. Excellent. That's looking good. And nice. So this is the best way of just getting your areas all sorted out. Okay, so let's have a bit of a look. I think what we can do is we can obviously get rid of this guy and make sure that we're getting this to be a little bit more natural. So let's do that. Let's get rid of these two. I think we're understanding that there's some stuff coming in here now. We don't need to hold it on for placement anymore. And obviously for this guy, for the rail, you might want to do even a little bit more aggressively. That works pretty well. Okay, I think that's pretty reasonable. Now, all I want to do is try and average it a little bit here. Just so it looks like we're not on a cliffside, for instance. So let's average it out a bit. It's going. We're going to have to do another bit here, but I think that's okay. We'll do something like that. That's fine. It looks a little bit more reasonable. We'll do another round of this where we straighten this out a little bit for us, right? Okay, good. I think that's okay. Now what I'll do is let's just grab the road quickly here and make sure that we got that nice and sorted there. That's good. I think that's fine. Did I want to level it out a bit more, or I'm okay with this? I think I'm okay with that as an approach, right? Okay, that's fine. So now we've got a little bit of room. Obviously these are being built. Now, did we have anything in this area? Let's just double check that we have this area to be using. We could obviously do gravel in this area. It looks like it's gravel rich, this area here. I think a spot here for a bit of a distribution facility. It's far enough away from the port ultimately to be able to support some of these areas. Now I'm kind of tempted to do it in this area, but alternatively, if we do it over here, it means we can support ultimately a much wider area, and we also need to have a look at how we bring this road together. I'm kind of tempted that we make this road hug the mountainside here into that area. So then this spot here might be a pretty good little area. So let's do that. Let's plan for that. So what as a starting point, we would like. That's an interesting little station. Oil loading and unloading facility. Really? Is that it? I like it. So we'll bring a bunch of stuff in here. So let's have a look. So in terms of stations, we need a cargo station. We'll do a fairly sizable one, maybe like a 4. If we do it this way around, though, we just need to bear in mind that this area will not have fire coverage, so we'll need to have a look. Maybe a forward helicopter fire base over here is a good idea. Okay, so let's start with that. We'll give ourselves a little bit of a road connection, maybe not that far, but a little bit of a road connection like so. Then what do we need in these locations? Oh, the other thing that we're going to need straight away is we're going to need fuel, oil loading and unloading at the rail side of things. This is a 2. And that is slight. Oh, that's a 4. Yeah, I don't think we need a 4, guys. We need very little in terms of that oil loading and unloading facility. This is the baby one. And maybe what we do is we just get the baby one connected. I think like that. If we do that, right, that's going to give us connectivity. Can I get it a little bit straighter though? Is my plan here. Let's quickly try that again. You need to. I like getting these things at least fairly accurate or fairly good. Let's maybe what we do is do this one first, and then what we do is we. Right. I think that should work. It's still a little off center. Let's pull that back. Do that one more time. We've got a heating problem. We know about these heating problems, so let's do that. So because we've been missing that direction all the time, let's do it this way around, and hopefully this is now it's actively missing to the other side. Let's just leave this view exactly, because this view seems to be the one that works. If we do that, that should be okay. Let's do that, and I think that's reasonably straight. We could even run. Yeah, that's reasonable. And I think what I'm gonna do is let's do this a little bit more forward. On. Okay. There we go. So at least we can get out. Like that and like that. We'll extend it a little bit more. Like this. And so ultimately we will do that. Okay, so that is our arrival there. Obviously, we want to run a set of bypass rails through here as well. Let's not do this. Okay, so that's the active rail through this area. And then this is we'll do a couple of tankers on this side. Plus, we'll do a bunch of open storage as well. Okay, so that should give us. Let's get a couple of tanks. So let's grab them quickly. Not necessarily pausing. Maybe let's pause quickly, just because winter is like a few days away. So let's pause it while we quickly just sort out a few more things here. We want oil storage. What am I thinking of? I think we need. Yeah, something like this, like the 750. 750, I think, is about the right size, maybe. And it's we just want it to be unloaded in this area, really. So let's do this. We do that. We flip it around and we do maybe something like this. Okay, let's quickly tie these in with some pipes. If we go pipes, can we go above ground? We could go above ground. That looks like that. And well, that that won't actively work. So this one will have to be below ground. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't want to. Okay, so let's start it off like that. Okay, and then let's go below ground from there to there. I think that should be pretty reasonable. Let's quickly have a look at our roads. So we'll do a road like this. Maybe not too far. We'll do that. We'll do this. I like it. Okay, and then what we'll do, we need a loading and unloading station here. Do we want to do it? Oh, it only takes one? Why? Why only one? Let's see under the mods if we have something. Oil loading, fuel loading, fuel loading. If we just say loading, this one, I think one of these, no, actively don't have it. Sewage loading. What is these? These are the ones. Truck aggregate, sewage, logs, containers, sewage, water, aggregate. These are the only oil loading and loadings, and this is for rail. Okay, so it is what it is. Actually, it's really weird. I did not think we had such an issue. So that basically means we need one on each side. So I think then we'll just do this. All right, we'll just do this one here. And we'll flip it around and we'll do this one on the other side. All right, that should work. So let's grab. It's not like we're hurting for it, so that's okay. This is better in terms of setup because it actively gives us the ability to know how much is in there on both sides, right? Okay, so let's just get this actively set up. So we've got all of that. Now, that's the first stage of it. The next piece we're after is a pretty large forward facility for... we need gravel. We could do gravel beforehand here on this side as well. We could have a bit of a look at gravel in here too. So the next one we want is a big storage facility for just goods. I'm thinking as big as I can get, right? Which is something like that. So if we do this one, we probably need meat as well. Okay, so let's do this one over here. Okay, and we'll do a large meat storage also. How can we do that? We'll try and make... Yeah, this will work. Get that to go, and then we'll have a vehicle pickup facility in here. A road cargo station that accommodates 6 vehicles. I think that's okay. Yeah, something like that should be fine. So if we do that now, I think we'll be able to tie that in. We'll be able to tie that in, and we do need to get a few road connections going. We'll be able to tie that one in, and we'll need to find ourselves a bit of a path that runs, I think somewhere over here is going to be just fine. So if we had a path that does this, we can kind of tie it in like that. And what we'll do is we'll bring it out a little bit and onto the corner there. I think that's fine. Similarly, we'll bring this a little forward, and then what we'll do is we'll do that, and we'll have this guy tie it in over here. I think something like that's probably about good. Now, we need open storage and a similar pickup facility over here for open storage, and we also need gravel. And then the question, if we have gravel, do we need anything else? Like bitumen and cement and the likes of that, like for true forward construction. But if we do that, we need workers, and we can't really get workers here. So maybe we'll have the ability to tie in something, because we'll have bitumen here. We'll have, so maybe. But let's start it off with go for storage, right? Storage over here. And we go for open storage, and we want to do pretty sizable open storage. Anything else? 95, 1,000, 4,000. Yeah, so 4,000 really is the one for us. So if I were to say, let's do this. Yeah, I think that's okay. Then we can have another pickup facility over here. Yeah, I think that's fine. We'll do that. We'll get another road cargo station. Again, we'll go with the 6 vehicle variety that we do. We do this instead, and we think so. I think we'll do that. We'll tie that together. Now, the next piece of the puzzle is maybe gravel. So let's quickly get a gravel loading, unloading facility here as well. Something small, I think. Unloading, train aggregate, unloading. Like this should be able to give us gravel. Wow, that I didn't want to necessarily pick that, but it's fairly okay. So I think that's about the right spot. We'll do another quick small one like that. About there. Okay, I think that's about right. Be able to tie that in. Ooh, it's not quite. Let's bring it a little bit. Bring it a little bit over. I think we should be fine if we do this. Is that a little bit over? I don't even know. I think that's okay. Let's give it one more shot. Right? Let's try it one more time. We'll clear out this path here. We'll get this guy to move. Doesn't seem like it's... See, this doesn't quite work for me, right? Is that straight? Wow, it really does look straight. Okay, fine. And then all we need to do, of course, is run it next door there. And we can run this one, and we can run that one. And then what we want to do here is make sure we do offer the ability to get out, so that they can get out and move through either here or there. Yeah, so that's a pretty flexible setup. What I'll do is I'll run this one a little bit more straight. We'll try and tie that in. Yeah, that's okay. I think that's going to work. You know what? Let's try this one more time. It's got a bit of a kink in it there. So if we do this and we say, do this, we'll start it like that, and then we take off the snapping. We do that. Yeah, that's much straighter. Put snapping back on. I know that gap's a little bit bigger now, but that's okay. So let's do that. And the idea, obviously, is we want to try and now get tracks to go in there. Okay, but let's go back and get our... So that's train aggregate, loading, unloading. So now if we go back to storages and things, we'll go and grab something like this, for instance, maybe a little bit bigger than that. Maybe the 2000 variety like this is probably good. And I would like to do this, flip it around, just to make sure we try and do it pretty accurately with regards to our setup here. Okay, so if I did this, right, so now it should be able to fill that up. And then we want a road aggregate loading, unloading facility. We'll just go with this one. Yeah, I like, actually, we'll pull it back a little bit. Like that. Okay, good stuff. And now we'll bring in the road. Bring in the road. We'll actually do this for the road. Tie that one in over there. We'll continue this road connection over here. Turn it a bit like that. Get this one to pop in here. And we will tie this one in like that and this one in like that. So it's a little bit messy with all of these access points, and we could maybe do a little bit better by ourselves in terms of just all of these. So let's redo that ever so quickly. So let's do this. I don't necessarily want to do that. If we do this, right, and we tie this one in like so, and we do that. Let's make this pretty straight. What? And then we'll tie this one in. Maybe like that instead, because none of these actively need access. Okay, so let's do that for the roads. Let's do that the same thing for this guy. So they're all in there. Okay, that's good. So that is our forward base of operations, and we can have a few bits and pieces in here. If we have workers here, that could work. So let's just see. So we're in a pretty tight spot in terms of the rail. So let's quickly extend this rail connection. We'll do pretty straight like that. And then what we'll need to do is have a bit of a gradual turn like so. Actually, that's a little bit too aggressive. Let's do a bit of a turn like that. And we will go around this way. Okay, so with that in mind, in terms of all of this stuff that's being built here, can we please... no, it's... No, not at all. Clean out that section, please. Can I please go back in here, please? And now, if we were to do this, right, I think I've made it pretty natural here. If we run it straight down like that, I think our gradient here is reasonable. Yeah, I think it's okay. That's okay. The gradient there is reasonable. And then what we'll need to do is, I think the idea is that we have a bit of this. Okay, so that's the one side of things. And at the same time, we would want to do a bit of that. Okay, and we can also do maybe a little forward here. Really? Why is crossing not allowed? Let's just do it from the inside instead. Really, you don't want to... What's the issue? Okay, so this. If we did this, right, and we try to tie these two together like so, that's okay, right? Is that, or is this a bit of a, I think this is a bit of It's a bit too, yeah. Oh, that's not going to work. That looks horrendous. Can we, can we try this again? And even that. Okay. And what we'll probably need to do is just get rid of these things. I'm kind of, yeah, it's a little weird that we're not able to, before we curve, right? Can we, okay, maybe a little bit later in that curve. Yeah, there we go. So that looks okay. And we're going to go straight down here. Yeah, that's better. And now we'll do that. I like that. That's pretty good. That's quite a good little natural turn there. Okay, we'll need to sort out how the road is going to go across here, and maybe what we'll do is we'll put it on stilts. No, we'll have to figure that out. But we'll have to actually, the road can turn, and then a section needs to go this way, I guess. Okay, so now from here, we now that we've got that done, now we quickly need to sort this in, and that's a little tight, right? So we're a little close, I think, for all of these things. I would have liked a little bit more room. Let's go back a bit more and see if that could do the trick for us. I'm a little worried it's a bit tight. So let's, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try this, try that. So I've got rid of those, right? So that's going into that general direction. So what can we do? If we wanted to now run this guy in there, right? It's going to want to do, it's going to want to do a little bit of this, right? Let's do this, right? Okay, keep a natural, come on. Keep a bit of a natural curvature there. Okay. And now what we'll do is we'll try and tie in there. Yeah, I think that's a bit more natural. Oh, it's the wrong side. Okay, so trim that one out and we'll use that one instead. We want to, and of course, extend this one all the way to here. That's good. That's good. And now all we need to do is find ourselves something that works like this. Yeah, I'm not. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that as a bit of a junction there. It makes this a little bit more manageable as well. It gives us a little bit more room here to maneuver and get into all of these things. So if we do the F4 thing, oh, we need to end the episode. If we do the what I want to do is I just want to run this as straight as possible. Yeah, so we keep it nice and tight, right? So if we do this, I kind of like that. And then all we need to do is tie this one in here. And now the only other question I have is, I think we have to give it the ability to come back, right? So go F4 and say we'll do this. Yeah, it might be a little awkward. I just want to see if we continue this one straight again. Forget about snapping. Just keep it going pretty straight like that, right? And then we try to, yeah, I think that's actually pretty cool. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. And then, I mean, what we could do then is we could actively do switch on the F4. Look at that. I like this. This is actually pretty cool. And we do that. I like that. And then what we need to do to make this work, of course, is we'll need to get a bit of a switch going over here. And then ultimately we'll tie all of those things back on the other side. But what this obviously means is we'll run back and forth. Okay, so let's do that. And I don't think this is going to work. So that just gets out that way, but this one can get back out in that direction. And ultimately it needs to go all the way back out this way before it can do anything else, right? So if we do that, then here I'm thinking a reasonable crossover here. And then from this cross, if I remove this thing, just try and get rid of. That doesn't want to work. Okay, fine. So if we did a bit of this, for instance, yeah, let's move the entire thing back a little. If we did that, cleared out this one. And we try to just add that one. And that should give us the flexibility to use all of these in all different directions, give them a bit of a go here. And we should be able to do some signals in there or in there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we need to obviously figure out the rest of this. We will, I think, accept this rail construction over here. So that's basically our forward base of operations. It allows us to get into that direction. It allows us to go here, and it allows us to bypass through to there. We don't have any rail going this way, but we'll have rail running in there. We'll need to tie all of these things together, get more road connections coming down here, and all of those kind of good things. But I think that is our forward distribution point. If you have some name suggestions for that, that would be good as well. And ultimately, we could even do gravel and I mean bitumen and cement production over here, or concrete production over here, if we have some workers nearby that we can drop off in this area. I did think, we could do a bit of a road connection over there and then bring these things all together, maybe even expand to a little town in this area to provide a little bit of active support for this. Even in here, we could expand a town in this general area into there, so we could actually actively hug all of the water frontages here. Whether we wanted to do some port action here, I don't think so. We've got a separate port, but yeah, that's kind of the plan. So from here, we can now start to do some new construction offices that can start to repair all of our things. But guys, I will see you in the next episode. It's been a long one with a lot of planning for some future works, and we continue to replace our vehicles. But anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.